Hello, my name is Noah Vicente, and I'm going to present the introduction of the report that my group called Herts PwC made. Our report is called Strategic Change Recommendation for University of Hertfordshire. The University of Hertfordshire is a very strong university with some future pressures. We do have more than 35,000 students on our university, and our education is really strong on employability. So we focus a lot on getting uh, on helping students to get jobs in their field of study after they graduate. We do have some high quality facilities too, like the nursery labs and flying simulators, which is really a really good experiential learning tools. However, we know that these tools are very expensive and money is one of the emerging pressures that we have. We know that the tuition fee is around 9,000 pounds. However, we do have some rising costs at the same time, with accommodation, with groceries, social life, inflation. So all of that are some pressures that we have. Another issue is within the international students. We know that 60% of the population of the University of Hertfordshire is made by international students. So any visa changes, any visa policy changes on the country can affect the university in that way. Uh, we also have some technological changes coming, like AI, like online courses. So I would say that it's crucial for the University of Hertfordshire to adapt to those changes in order to have a successful future.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Jeswin Simanasamian, and today I'll be talking about the key strategic issues. First and foremost, the UK rely heavily on international students with over 10,000 enrolled every year. This group contribute a large portion of the university's main revenue. While this is a strength in the short term, however, in the long term, this can create a significant risk. Any changes to the UK visa policy or geographical event may affect the number of students and directly have an impact on the UH finance. So the university faces a clear tension between benefiting from international enrollment and managing the risks associated with policy dependency. Secondly, there is the challenge of balancing financial sustainability with student value. Tuition fees in the UK are capped, so the US cannot easily increase income from local students. At the same time, students expect high quality service, facility, and support. Cutting costs to maintain financial health could reduce the quality of the student experience, which might also affect the reputation and the satisfaction. So the university need to carefully weigh short-term saving against the long-term value. Thirdly, digital transformation is another strategic issue. The UH has invested in new digital system and online capability, but implementing these changes carry many risks. There could be disruption to teaching and operation during the transition, and staff and also students need time to adapt. Nevertheless, embracing digital transformation is crucial to meet modern student expectations and remain competitive in a rapidly changing for higher education environment. Finally, the UH faces intense competition both in the UK and globally. While the university has a strong employability focused program and industry links, other institutions are also developing similar offerings. Standing out this crowded market is challenging. The UH must continue to leverage its strengths, such as employability and religion relevance, while seeking ways to be differentiate further in other areas, such as digital innovation or unique student experience.
Hi, my name is Eric. I'll move on to the SWOT analysis and TERS metrics. Looking at our strengths, UH is a powerhouse in employability. Our industry-linked education model and top-tier digital infrastructure like StudyNet provide a clearly differentiated value proposition. However, our weaknesses are equally clear. We have a heavy structural reliance on international student revenue and a high-cost physical infrastructure that limits our flexibility. Regarding opportunities, the global shift toward AI-driven hybrid learning and the rising demand for ROI-focused education play right into our hands. But we must navigate through the threats of tightening visa regulations and intensifying competition from non-traditional online platforms. To address this, we've developed four key strategies. Our primary SO strategy is platform expansion through an industry-embedded degree model. Think of this as a UK-optimized version of the contract degree system. We aren't just teaching students, we are co-creating a workforce with corporate partners. By integrating an industry track into our existing curriculum, we'll allow companies to sponsor students using the UK's apprenticeship levy. This model offers a win-win. Students secure a guaranteed pathway to employment, and UH secures a diversified corporate-funded revenue stream. It scales our greatest strengths, employability, without the need for massive new faculty investment. Next, to mitigate policy-driven risks, our estate strategy focuses on international risk diversification via T&E, or transnational education. The goal is to shift from a UK campus-only model to a distributed global campus. By leveraging our 30 years of T&E experience, we will offer multi-layer programs ranging from short modules to full degrees delivered locally in emerging markets. This allows us to deliver the UH experience anywhere in the world, reducing our vulnerability to UK visa changes while stabilizing our long-term venue. To address our high-cost structure and limited flexibility, our WO strategy introduces a modular, lifelong learning ecosystem. Instead of forcing every student into a rigid three-year degree, we are breaking down our curriculum into a stackable micro-modules. This targets a much broader demographic, including working professionals, and local adult learners. By utilizing our existing digital platforms, we can offer pay-per-module options. This lowers the entry barrier for students and creates a more resilient, continuous revenue flow for the university. Finally, the WT strategy cost structure transformation through an asset-light approach. To survive a high inflation environment with capped tuition fees, we must move from fixed costs to variable costs. This means shifting non-core functions to specialized partners and expanding hybrid learning to reduce physical campus overhead. By becoming asset light, UH transforms from a location-dependent institution into a globally scalable education platform. It's about being lean, agile, and ready for a digital-first future. In conclusion, these strategies ensure that the University of Hertfordshire remains not just relevant, but a market leader in the evolving higher education landscape.
Hi, my name is Chim, and I'll be covering the SAFE analysis of UH. The SAFE analysis shows that the SO strategy, which is the Industry Embedded Degree Model, is the most suitable option for the University of Hertfordshire, as it achieved the highest overall evaluation score of 24 and demonstrates the strongest alignment across suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. This is strategically significant because the model directly addresses UH's most critical challenge, its reliance on international student revenue, which exposes the university to external risks such as visa restrictions and increasing global competition. At the same time, it showcases UH's established strength in employability-focused education and strong industry partnerships. By embedding an industry track within existing degree programs, supported by work integrated learning and employer co-delivery, the university increased graduate outcomes while strengthening its competitive differentiation in the UK market. If this issue is not addressed, the UH risks continued vulnerability to external shocks, making this strategy particularly important for long-term sustainability. In terms of acceptability, this approach is highly compelling as it creates value across key stakeholders. Students benefit from improved employability and clearer career pathways. Employers gain access to job-ready graduates, and the university strengthens both its reputation and student satisfaction. However, this also presents a trade-off as increased reliance on employer involvement may introduce coordination challenges and variability in delivery quality. Despite this, the overall level of stakeholder support remains strong, reinforcing the strategy's acceptability. From a feasibility perspective, the strategy is highly achievable as it builds on UH's existing academic structure and established partnerships, requiring minimal structural transformation. This matters operationally because it reduces implementation risk while enabling scalable growth. In addition, the flexible co-funding model, including employer sponsorship and apprenticeship levy contributions, enhances financial sustainability by reducing cost pressures and sharing tuition responsibility. Overall, these factors explain why this strategy achieved the highest SAFE score. The industry embedded degree model is the most viable strategic option for UH. Compared with the alternative options, the advantages of this strategy become clearer. The SG strategy, focused on global platform expansion, offers scalability and increased global reach through digital and international delivery. However, it remains strategically limited as it continues to depend heavily on international demand, meaning it does not fully mitigate UH's core vulnerability. Similarly, the WO strategy, based on a learning ecosystem model, supports diversification through flexible and modular learning pathways. While this aligns with changing market trends, uncertainty around student demand and the perceived value of non-traditional qualifications limits both of its feasibility and acceptability. For WT strategy, the asset-light model improves cost efficiency and financial resilience by reducing reliance on physical infrastructure. However, this comes at a cost as it may weaken the traditional student experience and face resistance from both staff and students, limiting its overall effectiveness as a long-term competitive strategy. Collectively, These comparisons reinforce that the industry embedded degree model is not only the most strategically aligned option, but it's also the most balanced. It maximizes UH's existing strengths whilst directly addressing its key weaknesses, providing a solution that is both practical to implement and sustainable over time. Therefore, it represents the most appropriate strategic choice for achieving both short-term sustainability and long-term competitive advantage in an increasingly uncertain higher education environment.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Manziro, and I will take you through the conclusion. So, to conclude, after comparing all four options using the SAFE framework, our group decided that the industry embedded degree model would be the best strategy for the University of Hertfordshire. The main reason we chose this is because it's the most balanced option. It builds on what UH is already good at rather than trying to completely change how the university operates. UH already has strong links with industry and a focus on employability. So this strategy simply strengthens that by adding more placements, adding internships, and employee involvement into existing courses. This is really important because students today care a lot about getting a job after they graduate. So by making degrees more career focused, UH can stand out in a very competitive market. In terms of outcomes, this strategy could attract more students, improve graduate employability, and build stronger relationships with employers. It could also create more stable income through partnerships and sponsorships. Of course, there are some challenges. UH would still need to make sure placements are available for students. They need to maintain academic quality and manage partnerships properly. But overall, we believe that this is the most realistic and sustainable option because it improves what UH already does while helping it stay competitive in the long term. Thank you for listening.